Space. The infinite canvas. These are the adventures of the SSV Normandy. Its vision? To create a narrative and story-driven RPG experience unlike any other. To seek out new ideas and structures of gameplay. To bravely go where no game has dared before.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Young Dad Gaming Reviews, a series where I recount, review, and reminisce the games that I grew up on, as well as decide when or if my son will be growing up with the same games, and which one should be avoided for now due to extreme violence, suggestive themes, and or because the game just sucks. Next up, Mass Effect.
We face extinction. A rogue soldier.
Have you ever wanted to be the captain of your own spaceship, exploring the infinite cosmos with a crew of ragtag humans and aliens, saving the universe from evil and swooning the hearts of sexy alien babes? If you answered yes to any of those questions, and don't lie to me about the alien babes because y'all were ready to storm Area 51 at the chance to clap some ET cheeks, then Mass Effect is what you need. Nearly 15 years ago, BioWare and EA released a game that would forever change RPGs and the gameplay behind it. With a soon-to-be-released remake/remaster of the original trilogy, does Mass Effect still stand on its own 2 feet, or is the remaster really needed?
We'll sit back, buckle up, and let's ride.
As Commander Shepard, you become the first human Spectre, a special agent position created by a council of the most elite alien races. Your first mission is to stop a rogue Spectre named Saren from unleashing a race of synthetic organic aliens known as Reapers, that only appear every 50,000 years to eradicate civilization. Throughout the galaxy, Shepard and his crew of humans, Turians, Quarians, Krogans, and in the later games, Otherians, travel to unique planets, each with their own unique characteristics and quests, such as Noveria, a snowy planet, Therum, a volcano lava planet, and my personal favorite, Vermeer, a sandy beach planet. As you journey through the systems with your crew, their own stories are revealed to you as you begin to see how deep and rich the lore of Mass Effect really is. For instance, the Krogan race once saved the galaxy by defeating a vicious race of cockroaches, and were only thanked for their deeds by receiving a genetic virus which lowers their reproduction rate as the other races feared their overpopulation. The humans had a war with the Turians when first contact was made, thus creating a divide and distrust between the two races. This is only scratching the surface, but it still shows how much love, care, and thought was put into the series, even from the very beginning. I can't get too much into the story as I know a large group of people who still have never played the Mass Effect games, and to those people with the remaster now coming out, have the perfect chance to experience the series, and any spoilers would be a crime against human and alien civilizations alike. The gameplay in Mass Effect 1 definitely had the most unique of the three, and one that has not aged terribly, but not too well either. To someone like me who has beaten this game several times, I really enjoy the gameplay style even though I know it's kinda janky. I've just adapted to the jank factor. This game is an over-the-shoulder shooter broken down by 40% walking and talking, 40% shooting, and 20% driving and shooting. So let's talk about each one in greater detail. The walking and talking. This game is dialogue heavy. Luckily for us, the dialogue and voice acting is extremely well performed and written incredibly good. For the most part.
Commander Shepard, I work for the Citadel Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please.
You start the game off by choosing either the stock male or female Shepard, or creating your own custom character with their own unique background. I know that the majority of people prefer FemShep, and I understand perfectly. She is voiced by the ever-amazing Jennifer Hale. No offense to Mark Meer, who voices male Shep, but he just lacks some of the emotional range that would have helped his iteration of the character have more depth. Most of the time, he just comes off as a brick wall with even less emotion, if that's even possible.
Did the aliens come from inside the facility, or did they attack from outside?
Personally, as much as I love Jennifer Hale, I always played as my own custom male shepherd, despite the robotic emotions. This is because the world of Mass Effect and the choices you make get you so immersed in the lore, and playing as FemShep would make me think, what would she do, instead of, what would I do? Throughout the game you will have many conversations with different people and different races who, luckily, all speak English.
I welcome you. Cautiously, I am curious to know what you're doing here.
During dialogue, you are presented with the dialogue wheel. Simply put, it's an easy way to figure out if your dialogue choices are going to be moral, neutral, or immoral, with some conversations allowing you to ask more questions on the topic, or using your charm or intimidation skills for certain and different outcomes.
But I'd never let you down.
All right, let's see. I'm a bad guy. Stop me from killing you.
What? No, please. Please don't hurt me. Why are you doing this?
This is how a gun in your face feels. It happens to me every day. You can't handle this.
I thought you were a hero! I know you're afraid to trust people after losing your team at a Akuz, but I'd never let you down.
What about your wife, Conrad? She trusts you too. Aren't you letting her down?
What? I don't understand.
Different dialogue options can affect certain situations in vastly different ways that will carry on through the next two games. Shooting. The combat in Mass Effect 1 is possibly the biggest part of the series that has not aged well. Some of the combat can be a little unbalanced, especially depending what class you chose at the beginning. You have the choice between a soldier type with more of a focus on direct combat rather than special skills, a technician type with hacking and robotics overloading skills, and a biotic type which has psychic-like abilities. Along with these three classes are a few more which mix and match some of these talents between the other classes. Do you want a technician who can also use some psychic powers? Done. There are a total of 4 weapons in the game, ranging from pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, and sniper rifles. There is no ammunition in this game, rather an overheating meter which can cause your gun to be unresponsive for a few dire seconds during a firefight. Along with finding stronger variants of these 4 weapon types, there are also mods you can equip to each of them, such as attachments or different kinds of ammunition. I actually really enjoy the combat in this game and the early 360 PS3 ragdoll days. There's nothing quite like watching an enemy shoot off into the stratosphere because your weapon was too OP. But I can also see how repetitive it can get sometimes. This is most notable when fighting enemies in your Mako, which I said earlier is roughly 20% of the game. The Mako is your expedition vehicle when exploring vacant worlds. Driving is decent enough but can get old after a while, especially when you're exploring your 15th vacant world with a slightly altered terrain and same collectibles to search for. The Mako is equipped with a cannon and machine gun, which works well enough, but some enemies large enough to go head to head with your tiny tank aren't unfair, just repetitive. You have to keep shooting between your cannon and machine gun to slowly drop their health, while using your Mako's jet ability, like a small jump, to easily dodge their obvious projectiles. Towards the end of the game, when you're facing multiple large enemies like this in your Mako, it can get very repetitive. Some of the uninhabited worlds can also get tiresome. There are a few collectibles which are entertaining enough, and you can rack up XP quite easily, but it doesn't take long before it really starts to feel like a real grind. Luckily, these are all side quests and can be completely ignored if you wish. Though if you do, who knows what you'll miss out on. Mass Effect's visuals are an interesting topic, as some of the views and locales look amazing, even for the 7th generation consoles. But some of the graphics have not aged well at all. The character designs. Even one with a create-your-own character style can look a bit strange, and some of the expressions Shepard makes in-game can be absolutely hilarious, especially when paired with his monotone deliveries and silent staring when the player is debating what their next dialogue choice will be.
We all know it should have happened years ago.
The worlds and environments, however, hold up, and I sometimes got lost in just staring at them. For example, the uninhabited worlds all have unique skyboxes. Some have planets with 2 suns, a red and blue giant. Some have meteor showers happening above, while others are murky and foggy and give an otherwise horror feel to it. Whatever the case, the environments in Mass Effect 1 really helped to set the mood and help you get lost in your sci-fi adventure. Out of all the designs, as weird as it may be, the humans look the worst, while all of the alien designs look fantastic. My personal favorite has to be the Turians. Even Star Trek from 2009 took a bit of stylization from Mass Effect with the lens flare effect. The dynamic lighting and stylized scenes benefit this game greatly. One of my only complaints with the graphics in this game is that sometimes the graphics load in during gameplay. I'm glad they've since fixed issues like this in future games. Composed by Jack Wall and Sam Hulick, Jack Wall, who you might recognize as the composer for Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, and even some of the Call of Duty games. The music in Mass Effect is hands down a show stealer. Each rising orchestra and crashing cymbal further cement you in this world and make every action you make feel like an epic one. Even the swelling orchestra that builds when Shepard makes his heroic speech about catching the villain can inspire even the most emotionless Melsheps. You could also put it in any other heroic speech in any film and it would fit perfectly. Speaking of heroic speeches, my favorite voice actor plays as Captain David Anderson, Mr. Keith David, the Arbiter, and Childs from John Carpenter's The Thing himself.
What's really going on? This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
This man can get women pregnant just from his voice. Sometimes, though, on the rare occasion, the dialogue and lip syncing can be off, but this also could have just been my hardware.
Overall, what are my true thoughts on Mass Effect, and how does it hold up to this day?
If I haven't been clear enough already, I adore this game, and everything it accomplished. The first game in the series being my particular favorite, I could play this game anytime and always enjoy it just as much as when I first played it. Mass Effect captures that feeling perfectly of being in command of your own starship and having the galaxy as your playground. And many games have tried recapturing this style, but so far, personally, I believe none has succeeded the same way. Mass Effect on the PS3 did have the occasional glitch here and there, and after about an hour or two of playtime, I would experience slowdown and the occasional hard freeze. This could be particularly annoying as autosaves can be a bit far apart, but again, as I said, it could have just been my hardware.
Overall, and I feel this is quite fitting, I give Mass Effect 1 a perfect 5 out of 5, the first perfect score on this series. I feel like this game should be experienced by everybody, and yes, that includes my son. As for nostalgia value, this game is very nostalgic for me, as it really introduced me to the whole role-playing, spacefaring game style. I don't think my nostalgia is fogging my vision, but... what the hell was the line? I'm really excited to see what the remaster/remake is going to bring to this game. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment down below for games you'd like to see on this channel, or your thoughts on the Mass Effect series. Hit that subscribe button, as it always helps me out, and ring that bell if you'd like to be notified when a new video comes out. Also, don't forget to check Ellie's channel in the description below for more amazing covers like this. Next up, we're going to be doing Tomb Raider 3, so I'll be seeing you guys on the other side. Bye-bye!
You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got him too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. Stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you